Hey guys, welcome to the first video of my new project. Those of you who know me are aware that I'm currently pursuing a PhD in church history. This past spring, I completed the coursework portion of the program, and after an 8-week break in which I worked at my old summer job and got married, I've begun the next portion of my program: comprehensive exams. For this segment, I have 3 topic areas, each of which has a list of 15 to 20 books. I have to read each of these lists and then write exams on them, followed by an oral defense of my reading knowledge. This segment of the program can be very difficult for some PhD students because A, there's no longer any structure or pressing schedule, such as the fairly structured weeks of the semester during coursework. B, social isolation. You have a ridiculous number of books to read in as short a time frame as possible, so one usually has to quarantine oneself off from the general population and read until you're sick of it, and then read some more. This time can also be a time when you question why you started pursuing a PhD in the first place. My experience so far, after only 3 weeks, has included all 3 of these factors. So, I decided that if I made short YouTube videos for each book I read, which would include a summary and a critique, I can get out of my head, so to speak, maybe even initiate some dialogue with others. In addition, for anyone interested in one of my topic areas, which include Canadian church history, 19th century British missions and imperialism, and history of the early church, the videos may have some didactic value, or at the very least provide a warning, or an endorsement, for the books that history students may have to read. So, I'll be uploading videos on a regular basis. I'll also be making a video at the end of each book list in which I synthesize and critique the various perspectives and arguments that characterize that particular field of the historiography. And I'll also provide a sketch of the historical narrative of each of these topic areas in these videos. The first list that I've been reading is Canadian church history, so this will be the subject of my first number of videos. The way I'm doing this is I'm reading general histories first, most of which are more like a detailed overview and would probably function as a textbook for either an advanced undergraduate course or an introductory graduate course. Then I'll be moving on to the denominational histories, which are also like an overview but tend to have an overarching theme or argument. Finally, I'll be reading the monographs. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the lingo of the Academy, a monograph is a book, usually between 100 to 300 pages, in which the writer delves deeply into a subject, presenting original research and an original thesis, which they lay out in those 100 to 300 pages. Often, monographs are an edited or abridged version of the writer's doctoral dissertation or research. Now, it's important to understand that monographs are the bread and butter of academics. It's what they work with most of the time, and they love it because they get to engage critically with the author's arguments. There's a common misconception that the discipline of history is all about dates and names. Now, while dates and names of people and events aren't unimportant, the discipline of history is actually more concerned with research methodology and argumentation. Questions like, what are the facts presented by the author to support their argument? How does the writer interpret these facts? What is the author's thesis? What biases about himself or herself does the author reveal? In answering these questions, you basically take a deep dive into the writing, enabling you to assess the scholarship accurately in relation to other scholarship in the field. The chief purpose of the comprehensive exam is to ensure that you have a broad knowledge of the historiography of a topic, including a knowledge of the events and people that the historians focus on, and to test your ability to read scholarship with a critical eye. In making these videos, I am exercising my abilities in these areas mainly for my own benefit, but hopefully it can be helpful to someone interested in the subject too. So, if this is something you're interested in, and I know most people will not be interested in this, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more videos that actually have something interesting to say. Thanks, guys.